Good morning, good afternoon from where you're dialing in. Thank you for joining us today. I am Lisette van Kessel, Head of Marketing at Knowledge and also responsible for marketing of Zendy. We'll start in a few seconds. Let me give everyone time to dial in. We're recording this, so I'll give everyone about 30 seconds and then we'll get going. Yes, so hello, good afternoon, good morning from where you are joining. We're hopeful that we have a couple of people from the Americas as we try to make this a very friendly time zone for you. I'm Lisette van Kessel, Head of Marketing at Knowledge and also responsible for the marketing for Zendy. With me today, I have our CEO and founder of Knowledge, Cameron Cardan. He's also the visionary behind Zendy, co-founder, and has been in publishing in higher education for over 20 years. Also with me is Rodrigo. He's the mastermind behind our Zenty solutions, our chief technology officer, and he basically is our AI guru and builds all these amazing tools for everyone to use. So what we'll do is I'll give a short introduction of what Zendy is about, the brand Zendy, and then we'll dive into our AI Discovery, our most recent and very exciting tool for libraries and institutions. And then we'll demo the tool for you, and then we'll open there's an admin portal that's associated with AI Discovery that will also be demoed for you. And then we'll go into questions and answers and keep them coming, I would say. I'm very excited for this. So, Zendy, a quick introduction. We started to accelerate research with an AI-powered research library. Our mission with Zendy is to break down the barriers to access to knowledge, and we also do this in partnership with many publishers. We started as it's the vision from Cameron to make that knowledge open and to make sure that also individual researchers or anyone who is in need of that knowledge can access research and scholarly communications. And we started as a Netflix type of model where an individual could subscribe access to these articles on a monthly basis. And we still do that, by the way. I'll give you some numbers. So we're going towards 1 million users worldwide. We're in over 200 countries and territories. We have over 70 million records, depending on where you are in the world. The 93 languages, I have to check this pretty much on a daily basis, but I think we're actually around 100 languages when I checked earlier today. The content, because it's coming in through API, etc., it changes. Also, the content is growing with all the content providers that we have on the system. And recently, we have signed up with a lot of new publishers, so we're hopefully able to share a lot of new content with our users very shortly. And we have all types of academic and professional content on the platform. Of course, there's an AI powered part. So our discovery journey started with the access to the knowledge, and through time, we have started leveraging AI to transform that experience for our users, offering tools that help them with their research. So one of the key features is our Zendy AI assistant. So it provides reference-backed answers to research questions. So one of the important things that we did with Zendy from day one is licensing the content with the publishers in a direct agreement, which means that the content that is featured in the Zendy AI assistant is specifically also agreed on with publishers that we can reference to that content. There's AI Insights. That's actually the AI part that's completely free. So when you have an account and you do a search, still a traditional search. We're working on making that exciting for everyone as well. But at the moment, when you search, you already get a short summary of the article in 1 or 2 sentences that can help you make that decision whether it's worth exploring further. We have a PDF analysis tool that is also undergoing features to make it better. And we do key phrase highlighting. So even in the PDF, you can, on the side of it, you can actually search further based on suggestions from AI to streamline your literature review a little bit better. So quickly, the milestones. So we started with a regional foundation where we established a footprint in a group of 7, 8 test countries about 6, 7 years ago. Then we moved. Then we closely follow for democratizing access by following global open access. So everything that we pull in from open access is available for everyone. And from 2023, we made the shift to AI. When the open AI came, we also started our own Zendy AI assistant that really introducing those advanced intelligence to help you yeah, get your results better, faster, and engage with that content. And then now this year and last year, the institutional horizon, of course, where we started introducing AI tools to empower libraries and institutional ecosystems. And yeah, very excited for what we'll be sharing next. First, I quickly wanted to go through the leadership team. So you see 3 faces that I've already introduced. And then we also have Martin Jagerhorn, who's also a co-founder of Zendy and is still a business advisor for us and helps us find or actually helps you find the right tool for your library. And then we have Sarah Crowley-Pigno, and she's responsible for making sure that we get more and more publishers on the platform with the right agreements. Very, very important role. So let's dive into Zendy AI Discovery. So what we've noticed, and probably you have too, is that traditional search is starting to fall short. So users must know exactly what to search and how to phrase what they are searching. The results can be returned with no reasoning or guidance, so you're not really sure what you're looking at. Advanced filtering, which adds a bit of complexity and not much clarity. Also, generic AI tools can pull from unreliable, unverified web sources. And this generation kind of prompts, right? And they're not really using keywords anymore. I find myself all the time asking questions to Google instead of where I used to just type a word in there and see what happened. So the solution that we came up with to solve all those challenges for researchers is a guided and intelligent discovery. So it's aware of intent. So the system understands context and meaning and not just keywords. It will understand when in which language you operate and whether you've made a typo maybe. So it's very helpful in kind of acts as like that research partner to improve research, the quality that it has, and to reduce the time to find that relevant content with like guided experience and a systematic review. It's built from trusted sources, as I mentioned before, but in this case, the academic literature will be from peer-reviewed licensed publications only, and there will be your trusted resources. And basically what you can get now is everything, all your subscriptions, all your sources can be unified in one smart interface. And it can also integrate with link resolvers like SFX, libp, and any others. And yeah, what are the benefits for that? So there's of course benefits for users. So from the initial results that we are finding in the trials, because we only launched this a couple of months ago, is that it reduces the time to find relevant research up to 80%. Of course, it depends a little bit on how you're used to researching, and not everyone searches in the same way. But also it will improve your research quality because it will talk to you about the results, as you will see in a little bit of time. For the library, there's definitely a lot of pros as well, because we've also noticed from those first findings that it can increase your database usage by 30 to 70%. And therefore, it can maximize the ROI on the existing subscriptions that you have and that you have already paid for. and make sure that it's worth paying that amount for those. And also, you will get more time for the human interaction, right? So let's think about the teaching that you might do, the instruction that you might give, the support that you may give, and your subject expertise that matters so much for the students and the researchers. Yeah, so what does Zendy AI Discovery do? So it's embedded intelligence that is directly on your library. So it's built for scale, which means that it's publisher agnostic and it has independent embedding for all discovery providers. You have full content control, which I think libraries find very important. No data handover, no storage of proprietary data. It's really that AI layer on your existing services, and there's no disruption of your workflows. So it's admin control. So the AI can be configured by tone, by depth, refinement strategy, and yeah, there's like this agent behavior per use case. It's a customizable AI, so it matches your branding, your colors. I believe we can now even add your logo to it, and you can use the same UI style for that seamless integration, that feeling that it's part of your digital library already. And we have very transparent pricing. So there's a one-time setup fee, API subscription, and then pricing for any resource that you would like to connect to the AI. Yeah, we also we come from a mission-driven perspective where we also think integrity is very important to us. It's actually a trending topic in the past year, 2 years. I think every conference, every event, every conversation you have, it's about integrity. We're doing a lot to maintain that and to grow on that. So the content is licensed and verified, as I mentioned earlier. Every insight references are peer-reviewed and they're licensed academic content that we use. There's no data compromise, so no ingestion of proprietary data. You have the full control. And there's only, which is, I think, really great, it's a seamless implementation, honestly. It's a few lines of script. There's no change or disruption to your workflow, no infrastructure change, anything. And yeah, maybe a little bit of a weird one on this slide, but I think the institutional ROI is important to mention as well. And that's that when you don't necessarily just have to use it in your library, you can embed the AI discovery in any department of your institution, really, as it can actually also therefore help you accelerate strategy cycles, reduce time for insights, and improve decision making. What happens for that content also happens for any literature or information or data from your institution that you would like to tie to it. And so before we dive into the portal, I think maybe it's time that we demo the AI discovery. Do you, Cameron, want to take over the screen and do that demo for us?
Sure. First, I had to find a mute button, as I tend to forget. Um, and let's start sharing. Can you all hear me very well? Uh, I was having a little bit of a lagging sound before. Okay, let me just share my screen. Great. Well, you can see my screen now. Yes?
Yes, yes, all good.
Oh, perfect. 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 Well, hello, everyone. As I mentioned, my name is Cameron Cardan. A pleasure to be here today with you and to demonstrate some of the capabilities that we have developed, supporting libraries, supporting discovery, and really being able to embed and implement AI for libraries in a seamless and easy way. Now, before I start, so this is a typical embedding code, what it would look like. So basically, you can copy and paste this code that we create for you, and this can be embedded into wherever you select in your library page. Just as an example, if you see this page, so this is a discovery page that we've created. You've got the library, traditional search, Google Scholar, and this is where you can have Ask AI, or you can call it whatever you want. So that is fully customizable. So I'll just go back to the same page and just to show you how the embedding is launched. So as Lizette was mentioning, the traditional searching, we're all used to searching keywords, right? So let's say if we type a keyword like computer vision, if you try this in your library or any familiar library and you run the search, you will see probably hundreds of thousands of results, right? This is the typical search that we're used to. But let's see how this works using an AI discovery embedding. So as you see, automatically you get a pop-up, and this is the embedding. And first of all, it's basically giving you guidance, that guidance that we were mentioning, that sort of assistance that, okay, well, computer vision is quite broad. What aspect of computer vision or specific area are you looking for? You're looking for autonomous vehicles, object detection, healthcare, robotics, or you can even add additional context yourself to refine those results. But let's say I just follow its lead and I go for autonomous vehicles. And then it starts, that search on a more defined and narrower search term. So whatever we had in the past in terms of facets and filters and all of that, that is now replaced, and you just basically ask the system what to do. And as you can see, it's generating results based on an agentic architecture from a multiple array of sources. And these are the sources that are defined by the collections that you have available on the library. So, for example, it could be your existing discovery tool. It could be your repository. It could be your OPAC, your catalog. So whatever information that we can connect through that agentic architecture, and we can get results back from there. So this embedding can be uh, first of all, you can interact and you can ask questions in any language, right? So it doesn't have to be completely in English. Uh, we have some common languages as the default for the interface, and actually, if you start typing questions in those languages, the interface will change to those languages. Uh, I don't have much knowledge of any of those languages, so I won't attempt to embarrass myself. Um, so yeah, so it that's another layer of accessibility where your users, regardless of their background and language, they can actually interact with your library, regardless of the language of the collection. You can expand the screen to that full screen mode, and you can go back to the right size. Sorry, I'm just moving there. I don't know if you can see this. Let's minimize this. Anyhow, yeah, so you don't see hundreds of thousands of results. You see a shorter list, and this would depend on basically your holdings and what the library has available. Before that, it will, in a conversational way, it will sort of summarize your search. So, okay, well, this search is moderately relevant to your to the query, several, result, and it's really explaining what has been found. So it's as if there's a guide like taking you through the search. You can listen to it, and it's even suggesting you further drill downs in terms of further implications of that technology or the shirt term or the search term, and so on and so forth. And again, you can add additional context. You can add, for example, specific authors, specific countries, specific experiences, and even specific timelines, like you want to see the latest, or so all of that context that you would like to add, you can add in refining the results. So you see the results are there, and it will indicate where this is coming from. Clicking on the result will directly take you to the full text, but you can also see there's some options. The citation, you can copy the citation. You've got explain, you've got summarize, and you can immediately find a similar articles. I know that they're basically products that have been designed by just finding similar articles, and this function is already there. But let's try, for example, the explain, and this is basically the discovery explaining what this article is about to you in order to give you a broader perspective, giving you the big picture, breaking down the approach, and various steps. I'm not the specialist in autonomous vehicles, but you get an idea of what I mean. And you can ask follow-up questions with regards to that article. And actually, the model is also analyzing and reading figures and images and tables, and it's also using those in explanation. So it's not just reading the text. So these are some cool features that are actually, at the disposal of the user. So it is very, very simple. I think the beauty is in the the assistant type narrowing down, supporting you with the discovery, and really saving you lots and lots and lots of time from basically going through hundreds of thousands of results as we all used to do. Because basically, let's say the right and the most suitable result is on I don't know, 10th or 15th page. That really takes away all of that noise and helps you focus on what matters the most, right? So again, in the settings, which Rodrigo will be showing you later in the admin panel, you can set the number of searches that are available. You can always start a new search, and everything that you can see in terms of colors, messaging, and all of that, that can be um, uh, customized to your branding and to the look and feel of your library. And if you ever wonder, wanting to see your conversation history and your, previous searches, you can see that I seem to be in love with this topic, and I've done a lot of searches around autonomous vehicles, or I've been doing a lot of demos. So one of those options, and yeah, so that's always saved for you. And in terms of the full text linking, as it was mentioned before, we can directly link your link resolver, but just to give you an idea how this works. So I clicked on it, it's taking you directly to the full text where you can download it, right? So yeah, so it's very simple. It does what it says it does, and very easy to implement. And for example, if you want to connect it to a single discovery, just by having the API key, we can set this up for you in less than a day. If you need further refinements, further requirements, then that could be also done. But yeah, so also you see there's a deep systematic review button available as well that can provide you, that deep research that is available on any specific topic as well. And that's an optional feature that we can add into the discovery. All right. So anything else you want to add, Lizette, Rodrigo, that I haven't shown? It was all good. I take that as a yes, so I'll stop sharing and back to you, Lizette.
Yeah, definitely. No, and I think I also look a lot for autonomous vehicles, so I get what you mean. Very important topic. I'm
Yes,
trying to
these are.
find my deck, which of course is missing when you're looking for it. Yeah, I could have just kept, here we go. I'm trusting you see my screen again. So I wanted to continue with what Cameron touched upon earlier a little bit, which is the Zendy admin portal. The agentic AI library can be easily configured and controlled. And it means that the library keeps full control of what the AI agents do and what you do want it to do, what you don't want it to do, to look at that prompt management. So configure the tone, configure the depth, again, that refinement strategy, and really look at that agent behavior per use case. You can also start by simply syncing the defaults. I think Roger will probably show that in a bit. Or you can add new prompts very easily, either based on the ones that you already know or completely new ones. And of course, our support team in the beginning can definitely help you set up the right ones for your library. Also, the profile settings. You can easily edit a profile. It's only a few lines of script, as I mentioned earlier, which I think is really exciting. I think, Rodrigo, you will show how little script you need to actually embed it on your digital library. And I can mention again the disruption of the workflows that is actually non-existing. And there's a custom CSS to style the chat widget for your profile. So there's a widget preview and there is usage, but yeah, I can show you all this on a screenshot, but actually I think it's much better if we hand over to Rod to show us the admin portal and all the new things that he has added recently.
All right, thanks. Let me share my screen.
Yes, it works.
Okay, all right. Well, again, thanks everyone for participating, for attending this webinar. And just to add to what Cameron has been presenting, every customer is provided with admin portal because the whole idea is that you can customize everything regarding the integration. As it was mentioned, everything is managed from this admin portal in a way that you don't need to modify anything once you copy and paste the embedding into your website. All the look and feel and behavior just need to modify through the admin without touching anything in your website. So it's really a non-invasive embedding, but at the same time, through this admin, it's fully customizable. So we have several options. The first one and the most important is the prompt management. So by default, your discovery solution will have a set of behaviors that we have predefined for each and every agent. It's like a baseline of those behaviors that works really well, but you can extend that behavior and customize it to your own needs. So when we click on sync default, it will bring those default uh, prompts from each and every agent that is involved throughout the whole discovery process, right? So for example, we have an input analysis one, which is in charge of analyze all the input that you have entered, right? Making sure that your input makes sense, assessing for typos, making sure your input is semantically correct, or asking for some clarification or proposing a better type of search terms, right? So this, you can, when you synchronize it, you'll get that default behavior that you can customize it to your need. Maybe you want certain things to be said or things to be clarified, or you want just a complete change of the whole prompt of the to tweak completely the behavior of that model. So you'll have the supervisor output, and you can see all the agents and models that intervene throughout the discovery process. Pretty straightforward. Then for the look at field in your website, you can customize it through the widget preview. So here you will see how it will look like. And the important part is that you can modify this to match the look and feel of your website in real time. There is no downtime once you save it. It's not like it is going to take certain time to apply to your website, etc. It's applied immediately. So that's a key advantage. So for ongoing maintenance as well, if your website is changing some things and you want it to match it, you can do it immediately at any point in time. So you can change many things. Let me move this around. Also, you can change the layout, and you can reverse it, for example, and you can change each and every component from the discovery. You can see, for example, how it looks in dialog mode, and you can start making the changes as well. You can have different type of views to see how it's gonna look on different type of platforms. And last but not least, you have a detailed usage analytics to know how many credits you have used, and it will estimate how many days are remaining for the credit used, and it will show you all the usage. It will do a breakdown, the projections, and the usage patterns that you can analyze. Also, you can see the individual records, right, for each and every request, and which models have intervened in each and every type of search. So yeah, this is pretty much it for the admin portal. It's extremely easy to use, and it comes very handy to customize, track, analyze all the things related to your integration for your AI discovery. Over to you, Lisette.
Thank you.
I just wanted to add
Of
something as well. So, with regards to the
course.
admin panel, we're also working on building new metrics. We are also part of the Counter AI working group that is working on new metrics that are measuring such things and coming up with the new standards of measuring AI use as well. So this is work in progress as well. So we're part of that working group, and we hope that as things get standardized, to build in some of those usage metrics into that admin panel.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So let me quickly, as a summarization, quickly take you through, to stay in AI language, quickly take you through three of the other options that we have. So Zendy AI Discover we've discussed, but we also offer Zendy AI Assistant. So if you would like that intelligent conversational experience more than anything, our AI assistant can be implemented on your institution's data, any repository or research library that you may have to get quick actionable insights. And yeah, we also, of course, what I discussed in the beginning, have the Zendy research library with AI tools available for maybe your alumni or small research groups that need access but cannot afford the content from the larger publishers. They can work with us to see, and yeah, this is especially also for individual users quite handy to get access to a lot of research at once and have those tools, because we're still about removing those barriers in access to knowledge, but we also think about that barrier in access to AI tools. Otherwise, yeah, your research is still quite slow, right? So you could potentially get like a full AI powered research suite also with that peer reviewed academic content, have that AI system built in. And yeah, it's pretty much a ready to use library from day one if your library doesn't have platform like this yet. And yeah. And then there's one other option that if you already have your existing digital library, but you may just be looking for a lot of content, we can offer the content your way. It's basically API access that allows institutions to integrate our trusted content into your own platform. Yeah, it offers quite good flexibility on how your content is serviced. This is not related to the tool, but this is something that we as a company find very important. We have this big Igniting Impact online engagement program. And what I thought might be interesting for you and your team is to highlight the events that we are organizing throughout the year. This is only a snapshot of everything that we do throughout the year, but these were very related to AI. There's possibly more coming because we keep on planning more and more events. We have two people specifically dedicated to making sure that we stay on top of all the trends and share with you what we know, what we have learned. It's a mix of demos like we are doing today, panel discussions about topics that are trending in higher education, but also sometimes, yeah, a pre-recorded session that we've done somewhere and find important to share. So yeah, feel free to check our website on ology.com webinars or to scan the QR code. Can keep it on for a little bit longer because this is actually pretty much the final slide. Our last one is really just if you want to contact us, you've not seen us. So you know who we are. You can find us anywhere, but the easiest way is probably hello@zendy.io if you're interested to learn more. That said, we're also always also very open to do a demo for your library or institution specifically. We have a lot of people who in our team that can help with the demos. We recently are working with some resellers that can help you in many countries to if you're already working with maybe an agent or so to get your content, then that you can do as well. We work with WT Cox in the US. We work with FEMA in Canada. We work with iGroup in France. Sorry, in the South, in a lot of Southeast Asian countries, and we work with AccuCom, PGL, AccuComs in France, Germany, Mexico, Chile, let me try to remind all those countries, and I believe also Brazil. So feel free to reach out to them if you're already in touch with them, and otherwise we are very open to share more with you about these tools. I need to check if there's any questions in the chat actually, because doing the moderating, doing the presentation, and keeping an eye on the oh, this is a very interesting one. Let me start with the question from Bill Mott. Thank you for joining. Yeah, I think either of you can take this question. So Bill is asking, what is the difference between Zendy and Primo or Summon? Would you like to take it, Cameron? Oh, you're on mute. Sorry. Always,
Yeah,
always
yeah.
one.
I told you I need to first find the mute button. I keep on forgetting that. Yeah. Yeah, so that's a great question actually. So traditionally you have the traditional discovery services like the ones that you mentioned, Primo, EDS, but they're somehow limited to the resources that, either you have subscriptions, uh, and predominantly they're using the traditional search. There are some AI capabilities that have been built into the platform, but again, it's really at the top level and it's not comprehensive. And again, you don't have that customizable option to be able to have an AI only discovery that is customizable, that can be embedded and that can be set up in minutes, and it can connect other resources to your library. So basically, I would say the Zendy AI Discovery is the next generation of, or it's the start of the next generation of discovery platforms.
Thank you. There's one more question from Dallas. Thank you, Dallas, for that. Do you have a list of journals, and can we address the cost?
Yeah, again, good question. I'll break that down into the costing and to the journals. So when we're talking about the AI discovery, there's no fixed list of journals. Why? Because basically we customize this based on your library collection. However, let's say your library does not have anything and you would like to have an AI embedded discovery with OA content, or for example, only the directory of open access journals, or multiple OA sources that are out there and available. For example, archive, I don't know, PubMed, directory of open access journals, and so on and so forth. We can set up that discovery on those open access content, right? So that could be a starting point. So the number of journals is really depending on what your subscription entitlements are. There's a possibility to also link this to the Zendy knowledge base. And the Zendy AI knowledge base is actually licensed content from either over 14 publishers that have been allowed access for AI use within them. Those publishers are available. So some of the familiar names are Wiley, I don't know, IEEE, World Bank, and so on and so forth. In terms of pricing, the basic price for an API subscription is around $9,000, and that's for basically a simple and a low amount of API usage. Then we've got a one-time setup fee, depending on the size of the institution. Um, connector is around $800 $900 to connect one time, and then the setup fee is also one time, and it's just the API subscription. If you're a larger university with a lot of use, of course, that goes higher. However, what we do is we do not change pricing in the middle of the term, or we don't change it based on your use of tokens. Please excuse the cat. I don't know if you heard it, but yeah. So there's no credit base that say, okay, you're running out of credit, and then you're not allowed to use it. Whatever pricing variations changes, that's discussed for the following fiscal year.
Bill is
Very.
asking if there's any chance that Elsevier will become a partner.
We're having current discussions. We had early discussions, but in a way, we felt that they were one of the first publishers that responded to Zendy, and we went through all the way through licensing stage. However, we later realized that they sort of have a similar vision to become a single source of working all the publishers. But the reality is that all the big publishers are trying to do that at the moment. So they want to have their AI tools agnostic and working with all the publishers. But currently, for example, at best, each are working with two or three other publishers. So currently, in terms of number of partners, 14 is the highest. But again, a lot of what we're doing is content and publisher agnostic. So it really, it works based on the data available, and then any further data that we need to, for example, for the explanation or summarization, we will do that based on the licensing terms with that publisher. So the answer is yes. When? We don't know. We are in current conversations around on multiple steps on the use of the metadata and the use of content. But again, the AI world today is like a wild west. There's a lot of players popping up here and there, and not everyone is sure, what the right business model is. So from day one, we've gone for a fair use option, and I think that this can eventually be applied to content as well, where we have an open collaboration, open partnership, and that's why publishers, we've had more and more publishers joining, that it's based on an open collaboration, and it's based on a revenue share model linked to usage. So imagine you have a library that everything is connected, everything is there, but you pay to that publisher based on what is used. So it really takes you away that all of a sudden 70% of your budget goes to one publisher, but in reality, maybe 30% usage is coming from there. So it really mitigates those issues. So we believe that we've came up with that fair model in our use as well. When we don't belong to a publisher, we're not a publisher ourselves. So that means that we can integrate that neutral a playground where any publisher is welcome and any publisher can be connected. A lot of that will come from the partnerships and collaborations as well. So if it's something that is requested by a university and it's part of your rights to subscriptions, then we can connect them. So we provide you with those tools that can be connected to any publisher. It's a learning curve for everyone. So, for example, some of the larger publishers have changed their license terms, but I believe that also universities would need to change some of their licensing terms that will allow them fair AI use for discovery within their library as well. And that's something that I haven't yet seen happening because, of course, from a publisher's perspective, the first way is, okay, how can I make more revenue from allowing something? So, yeah, so we can expect a lot of back and forth in these early days, but we've created a platform, and the stronger the voice from the end users become, eventually it will go to the publishers as well. If we take what you mentioned in the discovery world as an example and a trend, you remember that first we had that federated search that was like connecting everything. Then you had that someone coming up with that first centralized index, but was everything there in some and then? Um, then eventually, even things like Science Direct became available in these discovery tools. So we can expect the following trend as well.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. Yeah, from that perspective, it still feels like a little bit in the beginning phase, right? That everyone's trying to find their place and yeah, but hopefully we will all realize that we need to collaborate to get everyone, because in the end, it's about advancing research, right? No matter what everyone is trying to do, we want to make sure that we can solve those big challenges with research. And for that, we all need access to everything as good and as fast and as efficient and as trustworthy as possible. So 100%. So I think I forgot if we actually saw it in the demo, but from the trustworthy perspective, because I feel that research, you need to be able to trust that the answer comes up is trustworthy. Maybe good to mention that who we're working with or what source we have uploaded and how we deal with, for instance, retracted articles, which is kind of a challenge if you, for instance, use the generic AI tools. You wouldn't know where that content is coming from. It could be someone who has uploaded a PDF somewhere, and then you realize at some point that the information that you have gathered from that tool actually is incorrect. That could be for any reason, right? That an article is retracted or withdrawn. So we have actually connected with the source of the retraction watch. And what actually happens when your prompt pulls up an article that's actually retracted, we will actually highlight that in red. So it's still up to you whether you want to take a look at that article. But we have, yeah, is dismissed the right word? We have dismissed that from our results. So we will tell you that we have not taken into account that article. I think that's for research quite important to know, and to know that you can trust the AI tool that you're using, that it will flag that for you. The other thing is, before I go to Ulrike's question, is trials, right? How open are we to trials? Do you want
So
to talk about that a little bit? Because we always talk about demos
sure, sure. Yeah, yeah,
and
absolutely. Yeah.
not every company will offer you a trial, right? So I think it's actually a positive thing.
Yes. Yeah, so if you would like to create a test environment with your own resources, for example, you have an existing API key for your discovery, we can immediately set up a demo account with you with a number of resources so you can play around and get a general feel of how that would work for your institution. Yeah, and thanks for bringing up that trust marker. And we're working on building more trust markers into the mix as well. So as one of the agents in that agentic architecture. So to connect to multiple sources like Retraction Watch and Crossref for some of these existing data points that we are pulling in data in order to show those retractions. So yeah, and that's what we meant about customizable. So we can link, depending on your requirements, uh, other connectors as well that could be embedded into that discovery experience. At the end of the day, for us, it's all about accessibility and discoverability. And that was the mission behind starting Zendy and really making all this content available for individuals. And now we can provide some of these services and to institutions as well.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. Because it's slightly of a different topic, that's why I kept Ulrike's question for a little bit. This is more towards the open access publishers. So how does it work currently? Do they need to pay a fee to be added to Zendy at the moment, to the research library?
Yeah. So the way it has worked traditionally until now, so all the open access content that we've licensed it from the publishers for free. So we're giving them more visibility. But remember that Zendy platform is providing you OA content, so all the OA articles for free. And this has been for years coming to us as a cost. So we're looking in ways to somehow cover those costs so we can continue to offer the OA part for free to individuals, because that's basically, a hard line for us, that always open access content will remain for free for individuals. But of course, running this platform for all these years has had its own cost. So currently, if there's a non-for-profit OA, we don't charge anything for it to be added, and we do that. And for other open access, if they're commercial, then there's ways that they can still be added for free, or there's ways that we can, for example, mitigate that against the allowing that to be included in the discovery, allowing for AI use in order to enrich the platform. So, but it's a nominal fee. It's not huge. And we also give the option to institutions that if they want to use Zendy Open, they can have a subscribe to open model and contribute towards like keeping Zendy open.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, this actually some of these things we'll discuss actually in our webinar on 9th of July as well. We will really dive deep into the Vendy Research Library. There's another question from Bill. Thank you, Bill, for asking all these questions. Actually, I hope it's not the last one. So how many open access articles do we offer at the moment? I mean, it changes pretty much every day, right? So I don't want to dare and give like an exact number, but I would probably go for around 70 million. Is that correct?
Yeah, do you want to have a go at this, Rodrigo? About
Yeah,
Yeah, because
Rodrigo, have you
as I
seen
was
it
saying, it's
recently? Yeah, yeah, with the with how the content is fed into the platform, it fluctuates, right? So it's
Yeah, yeah, that's about right. I will round it about like around 100 million. Uh,
oh, see, so much more. I was too
yes,
too
record.
hesitant.
So that's it. And
yeah.
the thing is,
So
we are constantly increasing the number, adding more data sets, updating the current data we have. So that number is changing as we speak.
Yeah, and again, so I would not mention the numbers, because it's not just the numbers that are important. So basically, you can almost say that we've covered the OA world, right? In the platform. But sometimes that is not 100% a good thing, and sometimes we need to go back down to those, for example, trust markers that we mentioned. And every library might have their own bespoke case. So maybe some libraries. I've had libraries, they say that, okay, we only want to have our own subscribed content, right? That's fine. Some libraries say, okay, we want to use open access that is indexed on the directory of open access journals. Fair enough. That could be done. Or open access journals that are on PubMed. Again, that could be done. Or open access that you have directly from all the publishers. Fair enough. That's also easy. So again, like for your library, you can have everything, or we can actually narrow it down to something to the specific for your institution.
I have to say he responds very impressive. Of course, I have to
Okay,
mention that. The team is working hard on
thank
getting
you.
all these options, all this lots of content into the library. So yeah, it is amazing to be part of that journey. I don't see any further questions. Let me quickly check the Q&A whether anything is added there? No. Okay. Then that's okay. Then I just would like to thank everyone who stayed until the end. We will also send out a recording. Again, there's more on our Knowledge, which is actually the mother company. That's why you're hearing that name as well. Knowledge.com/webinars. There's this influx of sessions that we do there. Just to repeat, we're always happy to have a chat with your library. We're kind of like flexible in where we are in the world even, so the time is also not a problem. And we look forward to continuing the conversation and hear more from you about how you are dealing with the huge number of AI tools and how you license it and everything. So if you ever want to have a chat about that, we're super open to that as well. If you want to see us live in action, we'll be in Stockholm half June, the conference, and we'll be also in Scandinavia in Norway the first week of July. Further will be at Charleston, if that is an event that you typically go to. You can practice live there as well. And Frankfurt Book Fair is always very important to us as well. So yeah, but feel free to reach out to us. We're open to all your conversations and questions. And have a good evening, have a good rest of your day, have a good morning, and look forward to speaking to you again. Thank you. And thank you, of course, to my fantastic colleagues, Cameron and Rodrigo. Thanks, everyone.